Salute, salute, salute. And one more time, once again, salute to the motherfucking family. Nothing but love and respect to all y'all out there, man. I appreciate everybody. Happy Sunday. I got a late night Sunday Fluence boxing coming to y'all, depending on where you are in the world. I had to tap in, y'all. I had to tap in. It was important for me to tap in today. I don't know if y'all was following the community board. I was giving y'all updates. Yesterday was supposed to be a big day when it came to Fluence Lounge. Obviously, had some minor setbacks with the internet side of the game, but it's all good. Like I said, I wanted to go ahead and at least do a Fluence boxing tonight. Tap in, talk some shit, talk about some things. You know what I'm saying? Get you guys' opinion on it. Y'all hear my opinion on it. And as always, too, make sure y'all on the lookout for all the other content dropping. For me missing out on yesterday, I got like 4 videos dropping for y'all tonight. I may go ahead and do another one depending on how I feel after the live. But before we get crazy up into this thing, as always, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the Black Goose family. And then, hit that comment section. You know what I'm saying? Get us into the algorithm. The comments are the best way to get us into the algorithm and to grow this boxing channel. So the Black Goose family be the biggest boxing channel, or at least get the biggest growth of 2022 when it comes to the boxing side of the game, and all that good stuff. So make sure y'all do that and hit the notification, man. We got some topics we want to talk about, obviously. When it comes to yesterday, not a big boxing day yesterday. It was more so like a mixture of both. Obviously, you had Chocolatito. He fought Martinez yesterday, and he got a unanimous decision. Put the hands down on him. It was nothing close. Then also on the UFC MMA side of the game, we had Kobe Covington versus Masvidal card, which honestly, in my own opinion, it was just a little bit underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? I think I expected a little bit more out of the particular card. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was mad excited for it. Excuse me for the feedback as always. I got to make sure the audio is good, but I was definitely really excited for that card. I expected a little more out of it. It didn't go the way I thought it would go, but it's all good. And what I mean by that is I expected Kobe to win. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more exciting fashion, but it is what it is. So if you want to be 100 with you, I'm not heartbroken or torn apart. Excuse me. I'm not heartbroken or torn apart that I wasn't able to go Fluence Lounge for the card yesterday in the Chocolatito and Martinez fight. But from here on out, it's been a little bit of a shaky start when it comes to the Fluence Lounges since I've, kind of started back up since that hiatus. So hopefully next weekend we can be back on Saturday with the Fluence Lounge going strong, because really the Fluence Lounge has built this channel. So we don't want to drop off when it comes to that. Salute to Mini Mill. What's good with it, brother? David Benavidez versus Boo Boo. That's what we're here to talk about. I love that you dropped that in the chat. Let's get right into the topic. I always like to say this. If you guys are here for the boxing news, to talk that boxing shit, I always suggest to the people, go ahead, especially if you're on the rewatch side of the game, skip the first like 3 to 4 minutes. That's usually me kind of just getting into the things, promoting, telling y'all to hit the like button, subscribe. You skip the first 3-4 minutes, we going straight into the boxing talk, okay? So we at that mark, so let's go ahead and get up into it. Man, everybody canceling my order. The disrespect is crazy. So let's go ahead and get up into it. My title is a very interesting title, right? It says David Benavidez versus Boo Boo, more likely to happen than Canelo fighting David Benavidez or fighting Demetrius Andrade Boo Boo. Why did I put that as the title? For a lot of people, I'm pretty sure you'll see this and you'll probably look at it and you'll be like, man, what is this dude talking about? This is cap. There's a lot of rumors going around where they're talking about, there's a possibility of Boo Boo being that third fight option for Canelo on this supposed 3-fight deal that he had with DAZN, even though it was announced as a 2-fight deal, et cetera, et cetera. If you guys check out some of the content I'll be dropping tonight, we're talking about how the paperwork was finally signed when it comes to Boo Boo versus Zach Parker and the 168 interim belt. So we have that moving forward slowly but surely. So with all this information being put out there, you see a guy like me, you know what I'm saying, going into his boxing channel, and he's saying something as outlandish as David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade Boo Boo being an actual possibility, right? A lot of people, they can look at that and they can say, okay, this guy's on some clickbait shit, right? Ain't no way that's an actual possibility, especially when one of the biggest things when it comes to, Boo Boo specifically, if you want to talk about Boo Boo, is the entities that they're behind. Obviously, David Benavidez, and we talk to entities, we talk to business side of things to another level when it comes to Black Goose TV, because we have to make sure that people understand how important that side of the game is when it comes to these fights being made, right? So obviously, they're looking at it and they're saying, how in the world is David Benavidez versus Boo Boo and even a possibility if we're talking about PBC and the zone? People are saying David Benavidez versus Canelo is really not a possibility, and that's because of the entities. But the only reason that is being considered is because Canelo is essentially a free agent, and Canelo makes enough money where an entity like PBC is willing to take a chance with their brand to generate as much wealth. And obviously, you want to strike it while the iron's hot. That's an old school saying right there. Strike while the iron's still hot, while the rod's still hot. Canelo is the hot thing going right now. He's the Floyd Mayweather of our generation. So you're not going to want to be the one that says, hey, I passed up on the opportunity to have one of my fighters fight one of the greatest of his particular time, if that makes sense. So excuse me for a little bit, me going in and out. I gotta I'm ordering some food, man. I did it beforehand. I always make sure everything is prepped before I go in. I don't gotta worry about nothing. But as always, there's some bullshit happened. It canceled on me. So I want to make sure I put this in real quick. But obviously it doesn't really make much sense for me saying, oh, there's a possibility that we're gonna see Boo Boo versus David Benavidez. I'm not saying that. What I'm doing is I'm putting the question out there, right? I'm putting the question out there because, one, I want to see how you guys react to it. I want to see if you guys react a certain way, like, hey, there's no type of. I want to see how your guys' reaction to it. If you guys think it's clickbait, and then I want to also have a deeper dive into why I'm putting that out there, just to kind of counter. I won't say counteract a lot of the things you're saying, but at the same time, just explain why this is an actual possibility. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get into that real quick. Hold on, let me finish ordering this real quick. My bad, y'all. I don't ever do this, but it's one of them days. You know how Sunday night goes, man. Sunday night is like one of those nights where it's like, if everything ain't set up the right way, you end up being in some bullshit because you got the beginning of the week. You want to make sure the week is right and all that good stuff. So almost done with this. Let me finish this right here. Hopefully everybody is blessed and not stressed, because that's the key. Let me sure. Looks like I'm about done with this thing. Hold on. Let me go back, actually. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I don't usually be on this bullshit. Okay, let's get back into it. All right, I'm good to go. All right, so Minnie Mill said, you think Canelo Bivol may get canceled? Looks like the Russia deal was getting serious. Canelo should have took the PBC route. That's a good question. So let me get into that. I'm going to get into that. I'm also going to talk about Benavidez versus Boo Boo, the reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling in regards to that. But before I even get, seriously into that, I want to go ahead and touch on that comment right there, especially since you keep the chat moving. My bad. I know I'm all over the place. Like I'm on my phone right now. I'm trying to get this taken care of. So I can go into this live. I can talk to y'all and I can give y'all the information y'all need to go ahead and hear about. All right. Looks like I'm good to go. All right. So Canelo Bivol possibly getting canceled. That's not going to get canceled. You guys don't have to worry about that being canceled. That's a good that fight's good to go. Even though the Russia-Ukraine situation is getting very serious enough to the point you guys are going to see. Make sure you guys look at my content too. I got a video dropping with some breaking news. We have Devin Haney versus George Kambosos in the work because of the Ukraine situation. Obviously, Lomachenko is not going to be able to come over and fight and come out of his country and come to the States. The difference with Bivol, with Demetrius Bivol, the reason why this particular fight's not going to be in stake is because he's already in the States. So we've already had the first press conference. Bivol was there. I'm 100% positive that there's no way that this fight ends up being in jeopardy. Okay, I got everything saluted. Now I'm good. You know when you catch them hiccups, and of course they're gonna try and do the hiccups on one of these. It's all good. You got to fight through the hiccups, all that good stuff. But yeah, Bivol versus Canelo, man, I don't see that being canceled any type of way. I think that's gonna be good to go because he's already in the States right now. He's in the States now, so if they were smart, they would just keep him in the States until the proposed fighting date, and they would just train him in the States. They won't take him out of the States, so we should be good when it comes to that. My email, the best email. I'm gonna go ahead and post that so you can see it. Post that right now. Bam. So that's the email right there. Mini meal, audio, food. It's all good. I'm doing other things in the background too, so I'll be in and out. Okay, salute. I just ordered my food. I usually have everything set up before I go live, so nothing, like I always say, I'm like, okay, go ahead and skip like 5 minutes in advance, and I'll be talking my shit. So I usually have everything set up, then I get on live. And I did. It's just, I was ordering DoorDash, and DoorDash was just on some, bullshit today, and I ordered from 2 different places. And the DoorDash person went there, was ready to pick the food up, and then both places canceled on me. So the first time they straight canceled on me on the first place. I'm like, what? How are you going to cancel on me when the person was there ready to pick up my food? Like, if you would have canceled when I first placed the order, I would have more options in the new places I wanted to pick, but they canceled on me then. The second place did the same exact thing to me. I was going to get some Mexican food. They canceled on me. So now, I don't got much of a choice. So I'm just getting me a burger real quick. So it's all good. Something real quick, in and out. At least so I can have something on my stomach. It is what it is. I'm not getting none of the food I originally wanted. That's one of the worst things when you have planned out in your mind. You're like, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat good. It's going to be fire. But that's part of the DoorDash game. You know what I'm saying? DoorDash been playing me a little bit lately, so I'm not even going to. If you a long time follower of the channel, I have issues with DoorDash too constantly, man. But anyways, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk that talk. So why do I have the title named the way I have it? This is going to be something that I feel like a lot of boxing channels aren't going to, actually touch on. And the reason why I feel like they're not going to touch on is because it means that you're going to have to talk about the business of boxing to an extent. A lot of boxing channels don't really want to touch on that. They want to make it a little bit more gimmicky, entertainment wise, and they want to make it, where it's easier for fans to listen to and digest it and be able to really rock with their, supposed favorite fighter, because the politics aren't necessarily touched on. Okay. So like I was saying a little bit earlier in the video, there was this speculation, rumors, all these type of different things where there's a big possibility for Boo Boo to be Canelo's third option to this 2-fight deal that he has with DAZN. I've been, repeatedly refuting those claims, saying there's no way that can happen because of the timeline, correct? Well, as of recent, David Benavidez has announced his upcoming fight with David Lemieux. All right. There's a significance behind this. So David Benavidez will be fighting David Lemieux for the 168. I want to say it's the WBO belt. I want to say it's the WBO. I'm sorry, for the WBC belt. WBC interim belt, I believe. So he'll be fighting David Lemieux for the 168 WBC interim belt against David Lemieux, while we also have Demetrius Andrade fighting Zach Parker for this WBA interim 168 belt. Okay. Why is this significant? Where am I going with this? How am I trying to tie all these different things together? Follow me here, Black Goose family. Okay. I'm going to get into it. So if you have boxing channels and people claiming that Boo Boo has a good chance at fighting Canelo, but yet there's no talks. There's no talk. Like we hear, oh, Boo Boo might fight Canelo. Canelo, he's ducking David Benavidez. That's his hardest fight yet. All these 2 different things. But if you guys have been paying attention, right? David Benavidez, I've said this. I'm like, the Candyman of the division is Boo Boo. He's always been the Candyman of the division, right? We've always known him as the Candyman of the division, or the Boogeyman of the division, however you want to, whatever your movie name that you want to accompany him with, whatever it may be, right? So with that being said, I've always given my respect to David Benavidez, especially as of late, because he's been one of the guys who said his name multiple times, saying, I would love to fight Boo Boo. His manager has said, I would love to fight Boo Boo, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm like, okay, you got to respect that. As of recent, probably of like 2 months ago, 1 month ago, Benavidez manager came out and said, hey, yeah, we were expecting a Boo Boo offer on the table, but we didn't hear anything. Right. And then Eddie Hearn came out. He refuted those claims. He said, hey, we gave Benavidez an offer when it came to Andrade versus Benavidez. So this is something that people don't talk about, right? People want to talk about the big names. Oh, Andrade, Canelo, Benavidez, Canelo. But people don't want to talk about the little nitty gritty where there was an offer on the table for Benavidez to fight Andrade of this year. They made the offer. And you can go and you can find the interview. I think it's either on E! News or Fight Hype, where it's either Benavidez or his manager. I believe it's his manager. They confirmed exactly what Eddie Hearn said to refute the claims that they originally put out, which basically Benavidez and his team said, hey, we never got an actual offer from Eddie Hearn, DAZN, and Demetrius Andrade. Eddie Hearn said, hey, they're lying. We gave them an offer, but they priced themselves out. And basically their response to that was them saying, we didn't price ourselves out, but we said the only way we finna fight Boo Boo is if we get $4 million at least. Right. So you know, there is such thing as talking a little bit too much, especially if you pay attention. But most people don't pay attention when it comes to this aspect, when it comes to boxing. So Eddie Hearn was right. They did price themselves out. David Benavidez, you can't ask for $4 to $8 million for Boo Boo. His guaranteed purse for his fight against Zach Parker is one of the biggest paydays. Well, I won't say it's one of the biggest. It's a very good payday, but he's making $1.8 million. So what makes you think you can ask for $4 million against Boo Boo? And I believe in his last like 2 to 3 fights, he's made maybe around an average of $2 million per. See what I'm saying? So obviously politics come into play. Where is it? So it's like, it doesn't take away the respect of Benavidez saying, I will fight Boo Boo. I truly believe he wants to fight Boo Boo, and I truly believe he thinks he'll beat him, right? Like, I truly believe that. There's nothing in my mind where I feel like, okay, that's not the case. But obviously, when it comes to the manager standpoint and business, they're going to say, hey, risk reward. And this has always been the disclaimer or the dilemma when it comes to Boo Boo. Risk reward. He's a higher risk than he is a reward. So someone like David Benavidez and his team, they're smart. They're going to say, hey, if you want to take this fight, we got to make sure you're getting paid the amount of money you should be getting paid. You can't take $1 to $2 million for this, especially when he's over there in PBC, and per fight, he's probably making more than that anyways. Okay. So where am I going this? Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about the numbers? Right. This is what I'm saying, is that there has been an option of Benavidez versus Andrade where both of the camps have looked at it, dissected it, and was like, hey, is this going to be the best option for us? But this isn't put out there in the news, right? This isn't something that mainstream media is going to carry because Boo Boo and Benavidez don't carry the same weight as Benavidez with Canelo in the title. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, now we're at the standstill and we're at the point where we have 2 fights being made, really 3, right? But let's say 2. David Benavidez versus David Lemieux at that super middleweight for that interim belt for WBC. And then you have Demetrius Andrade versus Zach Parker for the WBA interim belt for at that 168. What does this mean? You're telling me there's not a collision course for those 2? Of course not, Darren. They're 2 different entities. Please listen. They're 2 different entities, but they both have the same end goal, which is right here, is the mic. The mic is Canelo. That's the end goal. And the only way you get to Canelo is what? It's not if you get those interim belts, because it's already been said and it's already been put out there. If Demetrius Andrade wins against Zach Parker, he gets that interim belt, he'll still need to fight 1 more time to be the mandatory to Canelo. Okay? David Benavidez, if he beats David Lemieux, right? He gets that interim WBC belt. He'll still need to fight 1 more time to get to Canelo. So what does that mean? They both have to fight 1 more time just to be in consideration of Canelo. I'm releasing a video that's coming out, I think 10:30, whatever it is, where I'm saying Canelo is repeatedly saying, hey, why don't these guys fight each other first and then they come and they fight me? And it's almost like he's a fortune teller, because I'm telling you, that's what we're going to see. We are on a collision course for Benavidez versus Andrade in 2023. For that, the winner of them to fight Canelo. I'm telling you, that's more likely than us seeing in 2023 a Canelo versus Benavidez fight, a Canelo versus Boo Boo fight straight out. And all that bullshit where it might happen this year is not happening. He's going to fight John Ryder at the end of the year. Remember, I said that here first. So that's my point. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the way the trajectory is going, if you've looked at the last 2 months, 3 months, and if you've paid attention to the entirety of the boxing landscape, and you've noticed the people who are going back and forth and who's talking and how things are being said, like Boo Boo's not really the one who's going to talk that much, right? Boo Boo's not one, but Eddie Hearn talks for Boo Boo. Eddie Hearn talks for those type. And Eddie Hearn has said, we wanted the David Benavidez fight, but they priced themselves out. He addressed it specifically. That means something. I remember I told y'all, of all the promoters, there's only a few promoters where If they say something, I'm going to stop and I'm going to be like, let me try and figure out the legitimacy of this claim. Most promoters, I'm not going to do that. Because a lot of times these promoters have no legitimacy behind what they're saying and they're really just talking out of their ass. Eddie Hearn has shown to be a credible source where if he talks about something developing or coming together, similar to, make sure y'all check that out, George Kambosos versus Devin Haney being in the works, I'm a motherfucking listen. Remember, y'all can say whatever all y'all want. Look, the reason why some of y'all may have even came across my channel was because of the Canelo 2-fight deal with DAZN. The day before that, I literally said, hey, Eddie Hearn announced on the DAZN show, Canelo should be making his mind up most likely Friday. I had people saying, what source? No way. How do you know this? I'm like, Eddie Hearn said himself. Oh, you can't believe Eddie Hearn. I'm like, Eddie Hearn, say what you want about him, but he's one of those promoters where when it comes to deals being made, fights being made, and these things coming into fruition, he doesn't talk before he walks. He walks and then he talks. So I pay close attention to that. So with that being the case, it's hard for me to take my eyes away from the fact that if Eddie Hearn has already put out there that we've been in negotiation with David Benavidez before and it just didn't work out, you're telling me now when we're going into 2023 and we're saying, let's say Canelo has the year that he's hoping for, right? He has the years that he's hoping for. He beats Bivol, he beats Triple G, he beats John Ryder. He's going to go into the next year, obviously looking for the best 2 fights that he can get, correct? One of them's it's already been out there. Like there's foreshadowing in boxing like a mug. If Makabu's name has been coming up this much, he's going to fight him. And that'll probably be his first fight of 2023. Then he'll have to have one more fight, right? And this will be the fight that will most likely be against the boogeyman, or the guy that everyone says you've been ducking. And that's why Canelo's been alluding to, you guys need to fight each other, because as soon as these dudes do, he will take that fight. And it looks like the only ones that are going to be in collision for that to happen is going to be Benavidez versus Boo Boo. Now there's talks of possibly Caleb Plant versus Jamal Charlo, but that doesn't do anything for Canelo. And this is another thing. This is another aspect. And you guys can go look at that video I dropped when I was originally talking about David Benavidez and David Lemieux being announced. You guys have to understand the significance of him fighting someone like David Lemieux. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to be right back. All right, my bad, y'all. My food had just came at that second. Obviously, it's funny to me too, because I'm like, the other food that I ordered took a million years, and in this particular, it like got confirmed, delivered right away. But anyways, I'm not mad about that. That's a good thing. But let me get back to my rants and what I was talking about. So hopefully I pick up exactly where I was before, because I don't remember 100% off top. But David Lemieux, David Benavidez. Why is there such significance in this fight being made? And why can you guys go ahead and go back to the video I made on that originally and understand why there's significance in it? Listen. So David Lemieux is a popular overseas fighter. He's a popular UK fighter. I can look in right now. Let me see who my guy David Lemieux is signed by right now. I believe it's Matchroom. Let's see if I'm wrong or not. Okay, so he's signed by. Okay, that was in October 2011. Let me see, who is David Lemieux signed by right now? because I want to see if he's still associated with an overseas promotional company, because that's going to be able to either legitimize what I said, or we're just going to just throw everything out the window. So the most recent I'm seeing is with how long ago was this? Was this? So I can't find exactly who David Lemieux is signed with right now. Interesting. Let me try this. David Lemieux Management 2022. So it looks like he's still with Eye of the Tiger Management. Yeah, so he's still with Eye of the Tiger Management. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just make sure, because last time it showed him being with Eye of the Tiger Management, it was a little while ago. Sorry for that delay, you guys. I just wanted to make sure. So Eye of the Tiger Management is a UK-based promotional company. So I did want to get that into play. And then also, obviously, if you're a fan of David Lemieux, if you just know anything about the boxing side of the game, when it comes to UK side of the game, we all know how talented David Lemieux is and how much clout and how many people follow him and appreciate him when it comes to the sport. So what am I getting at? The reason why I think there's a significance with David Benavidez fighting someone like David Lemieux, who has this UK fan base or has this overseas popularity, is because he's leading into a co-promotional deal with PBC and DAZN. Right? You got to test. You got to put you don't want to jump straight into the deep end, right? You don't want to jump straight to the deep end. You want to kind of wade yourself into it. You know what I'm saying? You want to put your toe in slightly. Put the toe in, then you want to put the foot in, and you just slowly walk through the shallow end while you make your way to the middle, then you get into the deep end. So he's kind of in the shallow end right now. Okay, let me fight David Lemieux. Obviously PBC is probably going to have the majority of the shares when it comes to this. You're not dealing with a bigger promotional company with David Lemieux, so they're probably going to be able to say okay to a lot of the business, compromises that they're going to want them to make when it comes to working with PBC. But what it's going to do is going to have the UK people be like, who's David Benavidez? Right? Why is this relevant? Why does this make sense? Demetrius Andrade. He's fighting Zach Parker supposedly in the UK. I think Andrade has had his last couple fights in the UK. We know Demetrius Andrade is under Eddie Hearn Matchroom, which is heavily favored in the UK. So with that being said, what am I saying? There's these little details, these little signs that are coming out where it's just almost impossible for me to ignore, to say, how can you guys not expect Benavidez for Boo Boo to be fighting next year? And whoever wins that fight will face Canelo. Like, is it like I don't see Charlo in the running at all. I don't think Jamal Charlo was in the running at all. Anybody who thinks that, I think you're not following boxing. Jamal Charlo has just not done enough. His name hasn't been out there enough. Unless he has an incredible 2022, which as of now, no one's really talking about him except, unless it has to do with Canelo. Obviously, Charlo at one point he was talking about, oh, I went to Andrade fight and all that type of stuff, but Jamal's out of here. Jamal kind of shot himself in the foot. No pun intended. So the big two names at play right now are Benavidez and Andrade when it comes to Canelo building his legacy. Because when you want to look at the landscape of things, when it comes for Canelo, if he does what he sets out to do for this year, how many more names are out there for him to really say, hey, I want to fight him so it can make my legacy be greater? This goes to the same question I said when it came to him picking between the DAZN and the PBC deal, right? It's the same exact question. Nothing changes. Hey, do I want to fight Charlo and Benavidez, or do I want to fight Bivol and Triple G? Okay, Jamal Charlo, obviously he's the guy as of now where a lot of people feel like he's that guy, but when you kind of look at it in hindsight and you look at his resume, he's not going to be that beneficial on a record as beating Bivol, who's a 175 champ, undefeated with an amazing amateur record. Okay, Benavidez, he's a dog. He's young. Might be the next great superstar in boxing. But he has a checkered past And as of now, he's still working his way up for everyone to forget that checkered past. So does that make more sense than me fighting a legend in Triple G who's a fucking certified Hall of Famer? When you put those two cards on the table, when you lay them down and when you look at them and when you just use your eyes and you don't use your emotions, it's an easy choice. It's not hard at all. Oh, I'm going to go with Chika. So, but even now, even as easy as I feel like it is, there's so many people saying, oh, he copped out. Bivol is such an easy fight. Da, 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 da. And that tells me people don't really understand the fundamentals, the techniques, all that good stuff. It's all good, but we're not going to go into all that. All I'm saying is, say everything works out perfect for Canelo. He beats Bivol, he beats Triple G, he beats John Ryder. When he goes into this new year, he's going to be looking at new feats that are going to excite him. One of them is going to be Makabu, and that's probably going to be his first fight of 2023. The second one is going to be to shut up all the naysayers who say he's ducking people, right? Because he will have that fight where he's going to fight the one guy where everyone says, you're ducking him because of X, Y, and Z. Right. And I think that's going to be determined between the Boo Boo and the Benavidez fight of 2023. So to sum all this up, man, first and foremost, before I get to the end of this, we 31 minutes in. Remember, I'm trying to keep this at a certain time limit. I do want to say this. It was a little choppy today. It was a little choppy today. We're going to have days like this, Black Goose family, so y'all rock with me. The beginning, you know what I'm saying? I had to get everything straightened out, straight good, you know what I'm saying? And I got, I had the distraction on the side when it came to the food game, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. I want to make sure when I come and give y'all these lives and give y'all content, I'm going to make sure it's as dope as possible, or at least as coherent and as and just without the bullshit as possible. But you know what I'm saying? Everything I do is live, for the most part, live feed. I don't really have the time to edit things. So what y'all get is what y'all see. I want to get to the point where obviously some things can be edited. So y'all bear, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me, my bad. It was a little bit rough today. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of shit going on outside. But even with that being said, still, a lot of good shit was said. A lot of good content was put out, in between all the riffraff and all that good stuff. If y'all are able to listen to the details, you guys will be able to understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? This particular opinion, or, people can say it's an opinion. To me, I think it is an opinion, but I want to say it's a very informative based opinion where the things that I'm saying, it's coming from grounded information. It's coming from very grounded information. And like the thought and the idea that, Canelo versus Boo Boo, or Canelo versus, Benavidez isn't going to happen because he's ducking them, or the thought of Canelo versus Boo Boo possibly happening at the end of the year. Like, I just want to just try and give y'all the real shit. And I just want to let y'all don't be fooled by the clickbaits and motherfuckers trying to get views. Like, none of that shit is real. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, David Benavidez versus Andrade is more likely to happen than a Canelo versus Benavidez or a Canelo versus Andrade. That's just is what it is. And all the facts kind of lay themselves out there if you take the time to look at it, or if you take the time to listen to it. I know it comes down to promotional companies at the end of the day, but I've been explained the type of wave and the type of way that PBC moves about and the type of entity that they want to become. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very rare that they're going to be willing to compromise. It doesn't matter how much money they feel like they can make or how much money is within the opponent. They are not going to compromise the entity they're trying to build. You see what I'm saying? So to just see the fact we see David Lemieux versus David Benavidez, PBC, they're not looking to have their top guys fight outside of the promotion. It would have made a lot more sense for PBC if they're still continuing to go along the same type of marketing strategy and brand building that they've been doing for the last couple of years. Benavidez would fight someone within the PBC camp, and they would hope and pray to God they get the Canelo fight. But what are they doing? They're taking a chance. He's fighting David Lemieux, someone outside the company and someone who's known as the outside, a UK outside the US fighter. They're saying, hey, Eddie Hearn, hey, look at us, Canelo. We're willing to do some shit we're not used to doing, if that's what it takes to kind of get you to notice us and maybe, get you in play and want to make this happen. But I think the biggest thing is I don't think they're really even making that particular move to say, hey, David Lemieux, Canelo, Eddie Hearn, look. I think they're making that move because they're saying to Eddie Hearn, look, Demetrius Andrade, look. I think that's what it's about. Because I also think PBC also knows even though Eddie Hearn said that Benavidez cashed himself out by asking for like 4 to 8 mil to fight Boo Boo, I think PBC deep down also knows, like, well, if we built this fight up right, if we make people watching, if we make people interested, if we make people start looking, putting their eyeballs to the screen over our way, there's no reason why Benavidez can't get 10 mil and Boo Boo can't get 10 mil if they fight each other. And I see that. I understand that. That's more the long game negotiation. Eddie Hearn's like, if you want this, if you want it now, if you want the quick access to Canelo now, you better be willing to pay that 1 mil. But Benavidez and his team, they understand their value as well. So, and they also understand the long game. So if Benavidez beats Lemieux in amazing fashion, Boo Boo beats Parker in amazing fashion, we're talking about 2 guys with 2 168 intern belts. You telling me Benavidez versus Boo Boo won't be absolutely fire for 2023, and you telling me Canelo, he's not going to have any choice but to fight the winner of that. And I'm saying that might happen early 2023, so Canelo can be in a position where after he fights McAboo, he calls out the winner of that doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys really are paying attention, you see all the things that are getting in play, and you look at the business and how things are set up and how certain things don't work the way they're supposed to work. But when you see someone like PBC kind of putting a foot out and saying, hey, let's go fight David Lemieux, David Benavidez, it's a big deal. But a lot of people don't understand how big of a deal that is. It's such a big deal. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. And that's why I got the title named the way it is. I know it's taboo. I know it doesn't make no sense, but I'm telling you guys right now, as much as a fantasy fight, it sounds like David Benavidez versus Andrade. That sounds like a fantasy fight. You're crazy. We already got speculation. We already got people talking about, Canelo versus Boo Boo is going to happen on the 3rd fight of the zone deal, all that type of stuff. I understand all that, but all that shit is bullshit. I'm telling y'all what it is. And there's more of a chance of Boo Boo versus Benavidez in 2023 than there is of us seeing Canelo versus Benavidez or Canelo versus Boo Boo. That's just how it goes. It's Sniper, what's good? But it's good to see you up in here, man. I'm happy you jumped up in here at the time you did. That means I can kind of keep this stream going a little bit longer than I wanted to, because I had that joint choppy in the beginning. I had all types of distractions and shit, and DoorDash playing me like a fool and all types of things. But we here now. We got the stream going absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you got to go through the mud to get to the grass. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, I don't know, man. I think part of it, because I'm ranting to an extent. So I know that's really it's a pet peeve of mine when I see certain things touched on or announced, and it's like it's so obvious that's just not the truth. But when someone like me, I can say, hey, Boo Boo versus Benavidez happening next year is such a big possibility. People will look at me and be like, man, that's cap. You lying. Ain't no way that can even be that can even happen, all this type of stuff. But it's like literally the box, the pudding's in the box, however you want to say it, the instructions are in the manual. You know what I'm saying? It's just you choose not to read it. You choose not to open the box up. You rather you want someone to tell you what's in the box. You rather someone tell you what's in the book, and you take that as gold. But in reality, if you look it up and you read it real quick, you're gonna see the truth. You're going to see the truth. I'm telling you, Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez. He's not going to fight Andrade. He's not going to fight Charlo. This has nothing to do with him ducking anybody. But it has to come down to business and him building his legacy. I'm telling you, if all goes right, he beats Bivol, he beats Triple G. We're going to see John Ryder versus Canelo in December. If all goes right and we see Andrade beat Parker, if we see David Benavidez beats Lemieux, we're going to see David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade 2023 as basically a eliminator to fight Canelo for the latter year of 2023. And this is all in the illusion of if everything goes right. Obviously, something can come in and dismay everything and make everything go wrong. Of course, that's a possibility. That's always a possibility. It's boxing, right? But let's just say everything just works perfectly hand in hand. No problems, all that good stuff. I really see that as being the trajectory when it comes to the Canelo sweepstakes and his potential opponents when it comes to the 2023. I actually got dipped. Just want to say what's up. Take care, Flu. Life is crazy out here. Appreciate you coming up in here. It's Snipers. Absolutely. Life has been absolutely wild. Trust me. I already know. I'm trying to stay sane by keeping these, these lives going to YouTube, So appreciate you, brother, coming up here, just dropping up in here. It always means something, man. Many Mill said, who you got, David or Boo Boo? That's the thing, man. David versus Boo Boo was such an interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? I got to see, and this is the biggest thing when it comes to Boo Boo. Like this is my biggest like step back, take a look, let me see, analyze when it comes to Boo Boo, right? Benavidez has been a natural super middleweight for I don't know how long, right? Canelo hasn't been a natural super middleweight, but he's been sitting at super middleweight for I don't know how long, right? Boo Boo was making his first move up to super middleweight. So I have to see how comfortable he is. I need to see if he's the same Boo Boo. I don't know if you were a long time follower. I said the same thing with Billy Joe. I said Billy Joe was a phenomenal middleweight. Billy Joe had light feet, a swift jab, and cardio out the motherfucking ass out middleweight. He moved up to super middleweight, and he was slow, flat-footed, with no power. Obviously, we're talking about two different people because Andrade is the type of guy where he keeps himself in shape all the time. No setbacks, never dabbles in bullshit, okay? So obviously, we're going to see a much smoother transition up in weight class. But we still have to talk about the fact that Andrade, this is his first fight at super middleweight, and he's going to be continuing the rest of his career at a weight class that he has not been fighting at majority of his career. And that is the red flag disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to Boo Boo and everyone else. Or, you know, and that's why also I say Jamal Charlo was out of the picture. Because I'm not even going to get into all that. That's a whole nother video. But that's what I had to see. So I'm more of a Boo Boo fan. I've been a Boo Boo fan for I don't know how long. So I'm going to rock with Boo Boo no matter what. I don't care. I think Boo Boo has the highest IQ, is the slickest boxer when it comes to 160 or 168. But I'm realistic. I understand he's getting older. He's 33, 34. If anything he's going to beat somebody as special as Boo Boo, it's going to be Father Time. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to pick someone, I got Boo Boo. I'm not going to go against Boo Boo. No way. We're in the pop. That's a fact. We got a lot of that. Shit's been crazy. Shit been crazy on my side. I'm telling y'all right now. I be dealing with some of the craziest shit. And I just be like, I'm just going to keep riding. I'm going to keep rocking. That's why I do this, man. It be keeping me sane, man. It be keeping me sane, keeping my sanity right. So that's why I'm never going to fall off when it comes to this. I'm going to give y'all content on content. I also want to tell y'all, man, y'all don't sleep on your boy, man. I promise you, I'm going to get back to putting the music out. You know what I'm saying? I had to get back into my swing of things when it came to making sure I'm giving y'all good content and consistent content for the boxing. I seen y'all really fucking with it. So I appreciate y'all. I still haven't been able to give y'all a real Fluence Lounge, and that hurts my soul. Like Fluence Lounges were the foundation of this joint. So hopefully next weekend everything rocks and everything goes perfectly when it comes to Fluence Lounge. Because I really want to have a good Fluence Lounge. Like those was really the shits. Plant versus Boo Boo would be good too. Too slick. That would be a good fight. I think Boo Boo beats Plant though. I don't think Plant's as slick as Boo Boo. And I don't think Plant has the power. That's the difference between Boo Boo too. Boo Boo got power. Plant don't got power like that. Boo Boo will come. If he touch you, you'll feel it. But also Boo Boo's the type of dude where if he sees he can touch you and you hurt, he'll style on you for the rest of the fight. That's always something too about him. But look, I'm 43 minutes up into this thing. I should go longer and I will go longer, especially since the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of choppy, you know, starting off with it. But, you know, it's the start of the week, Monday, all that stuff. So I got to make sure, you know, to move right. I get enough energy. I got enough sleep. But what I am going to do, I'm probably going to drop one more video too before I go to sleep tonight. So make sure y'all look out for that. I got a lot of other videos premiering as well tonight where I'm just talking about some new boxing news. So make sure y'all go hop up in that, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Salute to the people, man. Hey, look, y'all, we out here rocking. We out here riding. I'm telling y'all when it comes, like, it's been a very, like, I went on that hiatus, not because I wanted to, but because God said, hey, you can't do shit. So now I'm back, and it's like there's still been some shaky things. Once again, like I really wanted to get the Fluence Lounge. Like that's been the essence of this joint. So hopefully this upcoming weekend we can have Fluence Lounge going. But also too, the music, man. I'm going to be dropping something soon. I don't know if it's gonna be this Sunday or whatever it may be, but y'all keep looking out for that. I'm just trying to get the schedules and everything right. There's so much going on, you know, making sure y'all got content and then, you know, balancing everything else out. But I just want to say, man, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate y'all. Don't ever think I forgot about y'all, man. I'm always going to be dropping something. I'm always going to be putting something out there that y'all can check out. Y'all can listen to all that good stuff. Yeah. And if y'all do a rewatch when it comes to this joint, man, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. Notification gang, comment, you know what I'm saying? Get us in the algorithm. I'm gonna be back tomorrow for show because I got some dead weight off of me that I was dealing with. I got some of that off of me for now. Obviously, the dead weight I feel like always comes back, but for now it's off. So tomorrow is gonna be fire, man. I'm gonna hit out. I'm gonna hit Zen up. I'm gonna see maybe we can get a Fluence and Zen at some point. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm gonna be back definitely tomorrow with some Fluence boxing, some new content when it comes to the boxing side of the game. But I really do want to just kind of hammer in the point. Just stay patient when it comes to music. I'm still dropping music. I got some good shit for you. I just got to get that out. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Salute to the people, man. It was kind of a rough Fluence boxing, but we here Sunday night. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but love. Hopefully, I enjoy the rest of the night, and hopefully, it's nothing but positivity, blessings, and success coming into the new week. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. So I appreciate, especially Mini Mill for being up in here again, man. I appreciate you so much. And then also appreciate Snipers coming up in here real quick, saluting the dog, and make sure everything's cool. Make sure I check out the rest of the content I'm dropping tonight. And I'm out of here, man. Look out for me tomorrow. We're gonna be back up in this thing, and check out the community board too. I'm gonna be dropping some topics for y'all to go ahead and vote on, so I can hear you guys' opinion on it. So I'm out of here. Nothing but love.